AITA for not letting my stepdaughter take a shower? My stepdaughter is 15. I'm 34F. My stepdaughter lives with us full-time because she doesn't like being at her mother's house ever. Since her mom remarried due to there now being 4 small children running around. I have 2 sons myself, but my kids don't bother her and live together peacefully, so there's never been any issues here. She has the entire attic finished to herself and she loves the space. Her mother does not pay child support. She refuses, stating, she chose to move out on her own, doing so I'm not responsible for her financially, and for whatever reason, my husband doesn't push it. I've told him to several times, but he outright refuses. Despite knowing it's costing us an extra $900 plus a month and we can't afford it. The reason why it's so much extra money having her here is because she insists on taking 45 minutes to an hour and a half long showers twice a day and uses up all of our hot water. She says the scalding water is the only thing that helps her anxiety, and I get that, but at the same time, all the rest of us have gone without showers because she uses all the hot water multiple times, and now I'm forking out hundreds more a month in hot water cost. I'm fed up. I've spoken to her father about it and he says that since it helps her anxiety, I need to leave it alone. But I refuse. I'm the one paying all the bills and have been for 6 months following my husband's knee surgery, and I refuse to spend this much anymore or go without showering myself. Since he outright refuses to bring his ex to court for child support and outright refuses to speak to his daughter about costing me hundreds extra due to her excessive showering, I took matters into my own hands. She was walking to the bathroom with all of her stuff last night after already taking an hour-long shower not even 3 hours prior, and I stopped her in her tracks and said she wasn't taking another shower and she wasn't showering any more than once a day from here on out, for no more than 30 minutes maximum. She just turned and walked away. She didn't come down for dinner either. My husband went up to speak to her later and apparently she was crying, saying she couldn't calm down because I wouldn't let her shower. He lost it on me and said I was purposely causing his daughter harm. I told him until he either gets child support help or until he is healed and goes back to work to pay the extra, then this is how it's going to be, and if they try going against it, I will be setting the hot water tank to a timer and going from there. I'm the only one with a key to the hot water heater, so they can't change it. He says I'm being controlling and going to cause resentment. AITA? ETA. Both husband and stepdaughter are fully aware of the financial burden this is causing. I've spoken to them both about it within the past month alone. I have currently been needing to borrow money to even pay the water bill. Neither my husband or her work, despite both being able to. She is of age but says she won't work because she is just a kid. My husband was cleared to go back to work 2 months ago but hasn't. Both her and her father are dead set against therapy. I've suggested it a few times. NTA. There are 5 people in the house who deserve hot water. Your stepdaughter and husband are ignoring the needs of your children, who don't even seem to be in the equation. There are weighted blankets that also have heat. It might be worth looking into them for her anxiety. She is 15. It's not okay to force her to go to work. But your husband? Yup. He's been hanging out for 2 months doing what instead of working? NTA. Taking showers 1.5 to 3 hours a day is extremely excessive and I wouldn't allow it either. Is she getting any mental health help? It sounds like she needs to see a doc and/or therapist if her anxiety is that bad. NTA. It's not like you're completely forbidding her from showering, just limiting the number of times per day and for how long. That's completely reasonable. Even more so because her mother refuses to pay child support. NTA. Your husband is the though. Because he's not wanting to go back to work and not wanting to deal with his daughter. She needs real therapy and her mother and father should be making her go. 3 hours of showers isn't the answer. It sounds like you've just reached a breaking point after months of your husband not addressing the issue. You should look at getting a tankless water heater. Then you can just set the temp low or turn it off after 30 minutes. ETA. Op after reading your comments. Do you want to stay with your husband? I know Reddit complains about it. But at this point it seems like a better ultimatum is she gets professional help. Your husband looks for at least a part-time job and possibly marriage counseling or a divorce. I do not understand all the YTA or ESH judgments. Op has to borrow money to pay bills. Her husband is not working. Both husband and stepdaughter refuse therapy, medication options for her anxiety. The ex-wife refuses to pay child support. Why is the onus on Op and not her parents to find solutions when they have rejected viable options? The SD may be suffering from depression in addition to anxiety. Hot showers can only do so much. We all know how much good lodging, etc. have, and continue to, increase since the pandemic. $900 a month is no joke. The only way ESH fits is if the E means husband, stepdaughter, an ex-wife, and 15 is old enough to understand bills and conservation. Whether she wants to is another matter. Op, don't back down. Your husband is being a bum and neglectful father. NTA. NTA the ex, the kid, and your DH are all using you. It won't stop until you make it. NTA. But I'd seek out therapy for your stepdaughter. She just needs help regulating her anxiety and a therapist can give her great tools to do that. It is definitely problematic that there's only one way she can calm down. Also, has she ever tried a weighted blanket? Same all over sensory experience. Physically calms my nerves down every time. But my point is change your approach to be, let's find more ways to help you, so she feels she has more options, not less. Edit to add. I specifically mean more sensory approaches. Or other things that similarly help her. Because these long showers are a very real way to regulate her anxiety. She does not need to hear anything like be more social, be more active, stop being lazy, etc. NTA she obviously needs help. But she has 2 bio parents who are pushing that off and letting you pay the extra bills. There are other ways to warm up to scalding, like an electric blanket, hot drinks or whatever. But the bottom line is she needs to see a therapist and the legal, not informal, custody arrangement dictates whether she can get on your insurance. No one is doing her any favors by letting her believe it's okay to inconvenience 4 other people and cost almost $1,000 a month in utilities. As someone who used to have severe anxiety, hugely NTA, the way anxiety tends to work is that it makes you feel awful if you don't comply to whatever non-logical idea you got stuck on your head. If you follow through you'll need to do this for longer and more as time passes. If you don't cut her off, she'll end up living in that shower. Thrice a day. 2 hours. It'll just keep growing and growing. The 3 of you seem uneducated on the issue, so I'd recommend seeking a therapist to help her manage her anxiety rather than indulge her and worsen her situation. Not enabling the harming situation to continue is, however, always going to be one of the first steps of the process. Why are you in this relationship with this man who only sees you as a bank account for him and his daughter? NTA. First of all, I was alarmed by your title at first, but now, having read the whole post, I get it. Limiting her showers to 30 minutes maximum once per day is already incredibly generous. Growing up I got yelled at after 15 minutes to get out. Secondly, is there a tub? Can she take baths? It would allow her to soak for longer periods without using so much water. Your husband needs to step the F up and be a father and a partner. And he is not. He is causing the trouble here by not getting child support and not helping to pay the bills and not actually parenting his daughter. Daughter clearly needs some professional intervention and her father needs to step up. Now. NTA, but the problem isn't the showers, it's your husband. Can she try a heating pad or heated blanket? NTA. Your husband though is an AX100. Agreed that stepdaughter has mental health issues. Sorry, you are in a no-win situation because your husband is behaving like a lazy loser. Your husband is mooching off you. Make him get a job. ASAP. You are financially struggling and everyone needs to tighten the belt and chip in. Your stepdaughter has 2 parents. You are doing right to let her stay. But I think that your husband, his ex, and your stepdaughter are taking advantage of you financially. NTA. NTA. Your stepdaughter needs help. But it's not fair to go deep into debt. How is that fair to burden you and your mental health? Stepdaughter is not dealing the causes of her anxiety. Showering for 23 hours a day might make her feel better in the moment. But it's not going to resolve anything like a good quality therapist. NTA, and neither is your stepdaughter. We all cope with things differently and she is a lot like my brother when it comes to de-stressing. He practically boils himself alive. His is related to trauma. Your SD might have something trauma-related. Maybe a touch of OCD. Maybe something else. Either way, she needs to be evaluated out of love and not frustration. It sounds like her mother wrote her off. Her father is an ass who doesn't want to be involved in anything difficult or that might rock the boat. And you are at your wits' end. Understandably so. She doesn't have a support network of adults and she needs one. Your husband is the ass here. He's happy laying up in your house, watching it burn down around you and reducing you to a walking, talking stress bomb. Look at how he's acting. Doesn't want to parent. Doesn't want to take responsibility and make his ex pay. Doesn't want to go to work. What does he want? You now have an adult child on your hands. I'd tell him that it's time to go back to work or time to go live with family. Full stop. You aren't his mother. You're his partner. If he cries about his knee, that has been cleared. Remind him that there are people who are fully and truly disabled, like myself, who work their asses off while living in pain that most can't imagine. If he doesn't want to go back to his old job, or can't, time to look into WFH options. He's choosing to be a burden because he's been allowed to. He got used to it. Don't do yourself and your children, including SD, this disservice. It's been asked but not answered. Why are you with this guy? I don't like ultimatums. But it's ultimatum time. You are NTA. But your husband sure is. I can only assign a small amount of blame to a struggling 15 years old. She's old enough to understand, but then she's following what her parents are allowing. NTA, all these adjudgments must be from teenagers who don't pay the bills and think it's perfectly fine to waste that incredible amount of water and energy. I can feel your frustration. And honestly, your husband and biomom are the a-holes here. Daughter needs help for her anxiety. But insanely long showers are not it. Hell, therapy will be cheaper than this water bill. I'm sorry you're going through this. And I hope her bioparents step the heck up and act like adults soon. Dad needs to get a damn job and get some child support. SD needs statement treatment for her anxiety. And you are not wrong at all to put some completely reasonable boundaries in place. Sucks that some of these comments blame the step-parent. The parents need to be slapped into reality and get off their ass and help their kid. This woman is doing all that she can with what she has. My goodness. You first need legal help to save your own ass, then deal with the daughter and her issues. Your husband needs to do his part and do the bare minimum.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.